What if the very vitamins you diligently swallow each morning, believing they're your ticket to a healthier golden age, are actually silent saboteurs, chipping away at your vitality? It's a chilling thought, but according to the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA, seniors who innocently take the wrong supplements could be facing up to a staggering 40% higher risk of premature death. This isn't some overblown internet scare tactic. This is stark, clinical data. Imagine one seemingly benign vitamin discussed today has been linked to actual brain shrinkage, while another, likely sitting in your medicine cabinet right now, quietly elevates your risk of stroke, nerve damage, and even heart failure, even when taken at what you believe are normal doses. As we cross the threshold of 65, our bodies undergo significant changes. Our liver's processing power slows, our kidneys struggle to flush out excesses like they once did, and our nerves become inherently more fragile. Yet, certain popular vitamins can insidiously pile up, effectively poisoning our cells and masquerading as the inevitable symptoms of just getting old, fatigue, aches, fogginess. But what if it's not age? What if it's entirely avoidable? Prepare to have your understanding of supplementation completely overturned as we expose the 4 vitamins you should seriously reconsider or avoid after 65, and crucially, the 4 you should embrace daily to truly thrive. Stay with us, because the final beneficial nutrient we'll reveal is a game changer, linked by a major European study to an astounding 36% lower risk of death from all causes. You can't afford to miss this. First, let's navigate the potential pitfalls in your supplement regimen, starting with a vitamin that often flies under the radar as a good guy, but can become problematic for older adults. We're talking about vitamin A, specifically in its retinol form. While essential for vision, immune function, and skin health, for those over 65, particularly individuals already taking multivitamins or consuming liver-based supplements, an excess of retinol can quietly accumulate in the body, leading to a state of toxic overload. The core issue lies in vitamin A being fat-soluble. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that are easily flushed out, your body stores it in your liver and fatty tissues. As we age, liver function naturally declines and our body composition shifts, meaning the vitamin A you ingest today doesn't just vanish, it builds up, potentially reaching toxic levels over time. The symptoms of this chronic toxicity are often deceptive, mimicking common complaints of aging: dry skin, persistent dizziness, blurred vision, and nagging joint pain. If you're consuming more than 2,000 to 3,000 micrograms daily from supplements, you might be unknowingly self-inducing these issues. Disturbingly, a 2022 review in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition highlighted that excessive vitamin A intake in older adults was associated with a 25% increased risk of atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat that dramatically elevates stroke risk. The safer path? Prioritize getting your vitamin A from food sources like sweet potatoes, carrots, spinach, and eggs, where it's present as beta-carotene. Your body intelligently converts beta-carotene to vitamin A only as needed, virtually eliminating the risk of overdose. If your multivitamin still packs retinol, scrutinize the label. Amounts exceeding 700 micrograms daily for women or 900 for men can spell trouble long-term. The wisest move is often to ditch the synthetic retinol entirely and trust in nature's bounty. Next on our list of potentially harmful supplements for the over 65 crowd is iron, when taken as a supplement without a clear medical need. Iron is undeniably vital, a true fatigue fighter often prescribed for anemia and commonly found in senior multivitamins, marketed to boost energy or strengthen brittle nails. However, the narrative changes significantly after 65. At this stage of life, your body generally stops losing iron at the rate it once did. Men after puberty, women after menopause, meaning any supplemental iron can begin to accumulate, primarily in your liver, heart, and pancreas. This buildup isn't benign. It can trigger oxidative stress, a damaging process where unstable molecules wreak havoc on your cells, inflame tissues, and accelerate the aging of your organs from the inside out. Furthermore, excess iron promotes the formation of lipid peroxides, harmful compounds linked to an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease, cancer, and heart disease. The critical point is that very few seniors genuinely require iron supplementation. Unless you have a diagnosed iron deficiency confirmed by blood tests or have experienced significant blood loss due to surgery, ulcers, or chronic conditions, you're likely obtaining sufficient iron from a balanced diet rich in meats, beans, leafy greens, and fortified cereals. Adding a supplement on top of this can tip the scales towards long-term harm. The symptoms of iron overload, joint pain, unshakable fatigue, memory fog, or heart palpitations are frustratingly easy to dismiss as normal aging. If you're taking a multivitamin containing iron, it's imperative to discuss this with your doctor and request a serum ferritin test and transferrin saturation levels to assess your iron stores. If they're high, a shift towards iron-free multivitamins and potentially reducing red meat intake might be necessary. For seniors, when it comes to iron, less is often more, and unnecessary supplementation can be like pouring fuel on a fire your organs are ill-equipped to handle. Moving to another commonly misunderstood nutrient, let's discuss calcium, particularly as a standalone supplement. For decades, calcium has been synonymous with bone health, heavily promoted in advertisements and doctors' pamphlets, and a staple in nearly every multivitamin promising strong bones. But for those over 65, the story is more complex and potentially perilous. Emerging science suggests that calcium supplements, especially when taken in isolation without complementary nutrients, might actually increase the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and the dangerous calcification of arteries. While calcium is undeniably essential, where it ends up in your body is far more critical than just the amount you ingest. In youth, our bones readily absorb calcium, facilitated by hormones and growth factors. However, after 65, particularly for postmenopausal women and aging men, this absorption process becomes less efficient. Excess calcium from supplements, unable to be effectively utilized by the bones, doesn't simply disappear. It often deposits in soft tissues, joints, and most alarmingly, in the arterial walls. Many seniors take calcium as bone insurance, unaware that their bodies may struggle to direct it properly. Instead of fortifying bones, it can contribute to hardening arteries, thereby elevating stroke risk rather than protecting from fractures. Moreover, high-dose calcium supplements can trigger digestive distress like bloating and constipation, and can even interfere with the absorption of other crucial minerals like zinc and iron. If you're also taking acid blockers for reflux, a common scenario for many seniors, your stomach's ability to absorb calcium is further compromised, potentially leaving you with digestive discomfort. No significant bone benefit and an added strain on your cardiovascular system. The smarter strategy is to prioritize calcium from food sources. Leafy greens, sardines with bones, yogurt, almonds, and chia seeds offer calcium in a more bioavailable and safer form. If supplementation is deemed necessary, ensure it's paired with vitamin D3 and vitamin K2, as these cofactors help guide calcium into the bones and away from arteries. If your current multivitamin contains 500 to 1,000 milligrams of calcium, and you're already consuming a calcium-rich diet, it's time to critically reassess your approach. Your bones crave balance and proper nutrient synergy, not just isolated calcium. The final and perhaps most surprising vitamin on our caution list for seniors taking high doses without medical supervision is vitamin B6. Often perceived as a harmless aid for energy, nerve support, or clearing brain fog, vitamin B6 is ubiquitous in multivitamins and frequently recommended by well-meaning practitioners. However, for individuals over 65, consistently high doses of supplemental vitamin B6 can quietly sabotage your nervous system, diminish muscle strength, and induce symptoms easily mistaken for the natural decline of aging, when in reality, they could be signs of toxicity. Here's the crucial detail many overlook. While vitamin B6 is water-soluble, implying excess should be easily excreted, it behaves differently from its water-soluble counterparts at high intake levels. When consumed in large amounts, especially from supplements, it can accumulate in nerve tissue and become neurotoxic. This means it can start damaging your sensory nerves, leading to distressing symptoms like tingling, numbness, a burning sensation in the feet, balance problems, and even progressive muscle weakness. Many seniors experiencing these issues are misdiagnosed with conditions like diabetic neuropathy or simply old age, while the true culprit might be their high-dose B6 supplement. The official upper safe limit for vitamin B6 is 100 milligrams per day, but research indicates that even 50 milligrams daily, taken over an extended period, can trigger toxicity in older adults. Alarmingly, many energy boosters, brain health pills, and nerve support formulas contain 100% to 250% of this daily limit in a single serving. If you're stacking these on top of a regular multivitamin and fortified foods, you could easily be venturing into toxic territory without realizing it. Once nerve damage sets in, recovery can be a slow and arduous process. Seniors are particularly vulnerable due to a naturally slower metabolism, reduced liver clearance, and a higher likelihood of pre-existing conditions like diabetes or thyroid imbalances, which already place stress on the nervous system. You absolutely still need vitamin B6, but in moderation. The recommended daily amount is around 1.5 millimicrons for women and 1.7 millicrons for men. You can readily obtain this from foods like chickpeas, tuna, turkey, bananas, and fortified cereals. Unless you've been diagnosed with a clinical B6 deficiency confirmed by blood work, there's typically no need to supplement with high doses. If your multivitamin or nerve formula contains more than 5 to 10 milligrams of B6 per serving, it's a clear signal to reassess and potentially switch to a senior-specific formula or consult your doctor for level testing. With B6 after 65, more is definitively not better. In fact, more could mean lasting nerve damage. Now that we've navigated the minefield of potentially harmful supplements, let's turn our attention to the heroes of your supplement cabinet, the vital nutrients that can genuinely support your health and longevity after 65. Kicking off our list of essentials is magnesium, particularly in an easily absorbable form. This powerhouse mineral is one of the most frequently overlooked nutrients in the context of aging, yet it's profoundly important. By the time you reach 65, your body's magnesium stores have likely diminished significantly. This depletion occurs due to a combination of factors. As you age, your intestinal absorption of magnesium declines, your kidneys tend to excrete more of it, and many common medications, such as diuretics, acid blockers, and blood pressure pills, can strip magnesium from your system at an accelerated rate. The consequences of this deficiency often creep in insidiously, manifesting as fatigue, persistent muscle cramps, poor sleep quality, heightened anxiety, an irregular heartbeat, and even emerging insulin resistance. These symptoms are so common, they're often chalked up to the inevitable process of aging. However, when magnesium levels are restored, seniors frequently report dramatic improvements: deeper sleep, better balance, fewer painful cramps, and even sharper cognitive function. Magnesium is a critical cofactor in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, playing a vital role in regulating blood pressure, supporting nerve and muscle function, and helping to stabilize blood sugar levels. It's also essential for maintaining a steady heart rhythm and ensuring your brain functions optimally. In fact, magnesium deficiency has been directly linked to an increased risk of dementia, atrial fibrillation, and type 2 diabetes. It's important to note, however, that not all magnesium supplements are created equal. Common forms like magnesium oxide are poorly absorbed and can often lead to digestive upset. For seniors, more bioavailable forms such as magnesium glycinate, magnesium citrate, or magnesium malate are far superior, being gentler on the stomach and more effectively absorbed by aging digestive systems. An ideal daily dose for seniors typically ranges from 250 to 400 milligrams, depending on individual diet and health status. While you can boost your magnesium intake through foods like leafy greens, avocados, pumpkin seeds, almonds, and black beans, modern soil depletion means that food sources alone may not suffice, making supplementation often necessary, especially if you're on multiple medications known to deplete magnesium. Next up is a nutrient that's far more than just a bone vitamin. It's a vital hormone that profoundly impacts your entire body, vitamin D3. After the age of 65, your body's natural ability to produce vitamin D3 from sunlight exposure can plummet by more than half. This is primarily because aging skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into this crucial hormone. Compounding this, if you spend more time indoors, consistently use sunscreen, which is important for skin cancer prevention, or live in northern latitudes with limited strong sunlight, your blood levels can drop significantly without you even realizing it. The consequences of low vitamin D3 are serious and wide-ranging, including pervasive fatigue, bone thinning, osteoporosis, muscle weakness, compromised immunity, and a notably higher risk of infections. Even more alarming is the established connection between vitamin D deficiency and chronic diseases. A major 2020 review published in the British Medical Journal revealed that seniors with vitamin D deficiency had a 50% higher risk of respiratory infections and, strikingly, a 30% higher risk of dying from all causes, encompassing heart disease, diabetes, and even certain cancers. Vitamin D3 plays a direct and critical role in how your immune system identifies and combats threats. It activates immune cells, helps reduce chronic inflammation, and enhances your body's capacity to repair damaged tissue. This is why individuals with healthier D3 levels not only tend to get sick less often, but also typically recover more quickly. In the brain, D3 is crucial for supporting memory, cognitive function, and mood stability, with low levels being strongly associated with depression and an increased risk of dementia in older adults. The challenge is that most seniors are deficient, and standard multivitamins often don't contain enough D3 to correct this. While the general recommendation from Food and Sunlight is 600 to 800 international units (IU) per day, studies consistently show that most older adults require 1,000 to 2,000 IU daily merely to maintain healthy blood levels. If your levels are already low, particularly during winter months, you may need even more, guided by your doctor. Always opt for cholecalciferol, D3, over ergocalciferol, D2, as D3 is better absorbed, more bioactive, and closer to the form your body naturally produces. It can be taken as a liquid, soft gel, or capsule, and is best absorbed when taken with a meal containing some fat. Our next indispensable nutrient for those over 65 is vitamin B12. If you've passed this age milestone, there's a very real possibility you're already running low on this vital vitamin, potentially without any obvious signs initially. The early symptoms of B12 deficiency are often subtle and easily dismissed. A general sense of tiredness, a slight dip in memory recall, or a faint tingling sensation in your hands or feet. However, over time, a deficiency in vitamin B12 can escalate into a serious health concern. It can mimic the symptoms of dementia, lead to debilitating weakness in the legs, adversely affect your balance, increasing fall risk, and tragically, often goes undiagnosed until irreversible neurological damage has occurred. Vitamin B12 is absolutely essential for maintaining healthy nerve function, the formation of red blood cells, and optimal brain function. A key challenge as we age is that our stomach's ability to absorb B12 from food sources diminishes significantly. This is largely because older adults tend to produce less stomach acid, which is crucial for separating B12 from the proteins in foods like meat, eggs, or dairy. The problem is further exacerbated by common medications such as antacids and metformin, which can interfere with B12 absorption. Consequently, you could be diligently eating a B12-rich diet and still find yourself slowly slipping into a deficiency. This isn't just a matter of memory. B12 deficiency can directly cause weakness in the legs and an unsteady gait because your peripheral nerves begin to misfire. Many seniors attribute these issues to arthritis or simply getting older, when the underlying cause might be a far simpler and often reversible nutrient deficiency. So, what's the solution? Firstly, don't solely rely on food sources for B12 once you're over 60, as absorption becomes unreliable. A more effective approach is supplemental B12. typically in the form of methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin. These forms can bypass the compromised stomach absorption pathway and are absorbed more directly. The ideal daily dose for seniors usually falls between 500 micrograms and 1,000 micrograms, though some individuals may require more based on lab tests. Since B12 is water-soluble, your body typically flushes out any excess. It's available as tablets, sublingual lozenges, dissolved under the tongue, or even as a once-weekly injection if a severe deficiency is present. If you're over 65 and haven't had your B12 levels checked recently, make it a priority to ask your doctor for a test. It could be one of the most impactful numbers in your blood work. Restoring B12 levels can feel like turning back the clock, allowing your brain, muscles, and nerves to function with renewed vigor. Finally, we arrive at what could be considered the single most important vitamin, though technically essential fatty acids, for adults navigating life beyond 65, omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, docosahexaenoic acid. While not a traditional vitamin, the importance of these essential fats for individuals over 65 cannot be overstated. They are as vital as any nutrient on this list. EPA and DHA have been subjected to more rigorous scientific study than almost any other supplement, and the consistent findings are compelling and hard to ignore. Omega-3s are profound protectors of your brain, your heart, your joints, and may even influence your overall lifespan. Let's look at the science. A massive 2021 study published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, which followed over 42,000 adults over the age of 60, found that those with the highest blood levels of omega-3s had an incredible 36% lower risk of death from all causes. That's a monumental statistic, indicating that omega-3s aren't just linked to better heart health, they're linked to living longer, period. Another landmark study in the journal Circulation demonstrated that omega-3 supplementation significantly reduced the risk of fatal heart attacks in seniors by over 45%. These are not minor improvements. The impact on both longevity and quality of life can be immense. Your body critically needs EPA and DHA to build and maintain brain tissue, effectively reduce chronic inflammation, keep blood vessels flexible and healthy, and regulate the rhythm of your heart. Without an adequate supply of these omega-3s, older adults are far more susceptible to memory loss, cardiac arrhythmias, persistent joint pain, and an accelerated aging process throughout every organ system. Yet, here's a shocking reality. It's estimated that over 68% of Americans over the age of 60 are deficient in omega-3s, primarily because they don't consume enough fatty fish or supplement appropriately. The best dietary sources are cold water fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. However, to obtain the therapeutic amounts your aging body truly needs, food sources alone often fall short. This is where high-quality fish oil supplements become invaluable. Look for a supplement that provides at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per day. If you have existing heart issues or significant chronic inflammation, you may benefit from 2,000 milligrams or more under the guidance of your doctor. Always choose a formula that is rigorously tested for purity, certified free of heavy metals, and preferably in triglyceride form for enhanced absorption. Taking it with a meal can help minimize any potential for a fishy aftertaste. For vegans, vegetarians, or those with fish allergies, excellent algae-based omega-3 supplements are available that provide DHA directly. Omega-3s are not just about preventing heart attacks or strokes. They contribute to thinking more clearly, moving with greater ease, sleeping more deeply, and fundamentally, aging better. They literally form the structural components of your brain and facilitate communication between your cells. When you're over 65, this isn't a luxury, it's a cornerstone of maintaining your well-being. For seniors aiming to stay sharp, steady, and strong well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond, omega-3s are the closest thing we have to a nutritional insurance policy for a vibrant life. They don't just help you live longer, they help you stay you longer. You've now seen the unvarnished truth about vitamins and supplements after the age of 65. Some have the power to help you live longer, think with greater clarity, and maintain your strength, while others, often taken with the best intentions, could be insidiously draining your energy, clouding your mind, and putting your heart at serious risk, even when the label confidently claims 4 seniors. The key takeaway isn't about indiscriminately taking more pills, it's about taking them smarter. It's about arming your body with the right nutrients in the right form, at the right dose specifically tailored for your age, your unique physiology, and the future you envision for yourself. This means decisively cutting out the toxic extras and finally providing your cells with the precise support they desperately need to keep you alive, mobile, and mentally sharp for years to come. Take a look at your current supplement lineup. Which of these revelations surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below.